The forest was a different place under the blanket of night. Shadows draped over the trees, shifting with each breeze, and the sounds that had been so familiar by day took on a new tone, filled with whispers and echoes that made Abeni's heart race. Yet, even as the darkness surrounded her, she felt a deep sense of peace. The forest was alive in ways she had never imagined. Following the cry, she wound through twisted roots and thick underbrush, her breath coming in quick, shallow bursts. She knew the risks, but something within her, something powerful and unexplainable, drew her forward. Finally, she reached a clearing, and there, beneath a large tree, lay a lion. Its golden fur was matted with dirt, and its side bore the fresh wounds of a battle, a set of vicious claw marks cutting across its rib cage. Despite the lion's mighty form, its eyes held a quiet agony that struck Abeni to her core. She took a step forward, her voice soft. "I'm here to help," she whispered, hoping it would understand. But before she could move closer, a figure emerged from the shadows, startling her. A young man, tall and broad-shouldered, with deep, steady eyes that seemed to hold the forest itself. He wore simple, worn clothes, and his hair was wild, like the mane of an untamed animal. He looked at her with a mixture of surprise and caution. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice low, almost a growl. Abeni's breath caught as she held his gaze. "My name is Abeni. I I heard the lion's cry. I came to help." The young man's expression softened slightly, though his eyes remained wary. "My name is Cato, and this," he gestured toward the lion, "is my responsibility." He knelt beside the lion, his touch gentle but practiced. Abeni watched, feeling an inexplicable pull toward him, as though the same force that connected her to the animals bound her to him as well. "I have a gift," she whispered, almost to herself. "I can feel what they feel since their pain." Cato looked up, surprise flickering across his face. "Then you too are a guardian of the forest," he said softly. "It's rare to find someone who understands the balance of this place." Abeni's curiosity swelled. "Guardian?" "Yes," he replied, tending to the lion's wounds with herbs he drew from a small pouch at his waist. "I protect the forest and its creatures. For as long as I can remember, I've lived among them, learning their ways, guarding them against those who mean them harm." Abeni knelt beside him, reaching out to the lion, her hand hovering just above its fur. She could feel its pain, its heartbeat pulsing beneath her fingers. With her gift, she projected calm and reassurance, watching as the lion's tense muscles relaxed, its breathing growing steadier. Cato watched her, a faint smile playing on his lips. "You're a natural," he murmured, "but you must learn to control your power. Without guidance, your gift could bring you more danger than you realize." Over the days that followed, Cato taught Abeni how to channel her gift, showing her how to communicate without fear, how to project calmness, and even how to sense when something was wrong in the forest. She practiced reaching out with her mind, feeling the life force of the animals around her, learning to connect with their instincts and emotions. Under Cato's guidance, her connection to the forest deepened, and her understanding of her gift grew. As they spent more time together, a bond grew between them. Cato shared stories of his life in the wild, of nights spent under the stars, and of his close calls with hunters who sought to exploit the forest's riches. He listened as Abeni spoke of her village, her family, and the quiet life she had always known. Each conversation brought them closer, and Abeni felt her heart beginning to soften toward him, the flickers of admiration growing into something deeper. One evening, as the sun dipped low over the trees, Cato's tone grew somber. "Our gift is powerful, Abeni," he said, "but there are those who would destroy what we cherish. Poachers, hunters, they take without respect, without understanding. They come here to exploit the forest, caring only for profit." Abeni felt a cold weight settle in her stomach. She knew her forest was beautiful and wild, but she had never considered it vulnerable. "Is that why you've lived here alone all these years?" she asked. Cato nodded. "Someone has to protect it, and now with you, perhaps we can do it together." They made a quiet promise that evening, sitting side by side as the stars began to emerge. Abeni swore to protect the forest with Cato, to guard the creature she had come to know, and to stand up against those who would harm them. She had found a purpose in her gift, a calling stronger than she had ever known. But just as they rose to leave, a rustle caught her attention. She froze, her senses on high alert. Cato, too, tensed, his eyes narrowing as he scanned the shadows. In the dim light, Abeni could just make out a figure moving through the trees, a dark silhouette, silent and stealthy, like a hunter on the prowl. Her heart pounded as the figure slipped further into the forest, leaving behind a quiet stillness that felt heavy with danger. She turned to Cato, her determination hardening. "Whatever that was," she whispered, "we have to protect the forest from it." Cato nodded, his expression grave. "We will, Abeni. But be prepared, our path is not an easy one."